welcome to Schneid's 15. As you can see, we're going to be doing a timing belt on this Yamaha 150. This is the same on many years. This one's an 06, I believe. Anyways, before we start the procedure, you either pull out your spark plugs or battle with the motor. Obviously pull off your cowling and your cover that is your pulley guard here. So we have to turn our motor to our proper position. So you can see here these lines here are highlighted with a white marker crayon. We have to make sure we're on top dead center here, which we are. And you'll notice back there, because if you don't have your flywheel on, there's actually a mark back here. I'll see if I can get the camera down to it. Let's go on a bit of an angle. Right there. See right there, that tab and that mark must line up. Then we are ready to start pulling it apart. So I'll grab my tools and we'll get going. Next we have to pull off our flywheel bolt. I have a 36 millimeter gear wrench socket, which I have ground down on the sides here to make it thinner so it fits in here nice. I've used this on many Yamaha flywheels. Washer underneath. Once we have our nut removed, take your 3-jaw puller, which this is just a Mercury puller. These are 1.5 or 1.7 M8 by 1.75, I believe. I honestly don't know, so check online, because I just have these in my toolbox because I've done a few of these. And all the Yamahas, 250s, 15s, down, whatever. So we'll tighten those in. Be sure you don't go in too far. Just make sure you're in a 1/4 inch or whatever, that you don't go through the stator and hit anything. And then we'll get to pulling this off. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on this. If they're stubborn, you can give them a whack. There, you'll feel it pop. There we go. Next we need to pull our stator off, and I just want to say, if your engine has moved a little bit, guys, in this process, don't worry, we'll show you how to twist it back. But pull your 4 screws out of here. Oh, and they're tight. Anyways, I'm gonna go grab my hand impact to get those out, and then we'll pop that off. If your 4 bolts loosened, I just leave them in there, flop your stator on the side like that, and you're done. Now we'll take our 10 millimeter and pull out these 4 bolts and pull off your stator retainer. Again, if your motor has moved, just simply take a pair of channel locks. Just go over top with that. Rotate it back so your marks are lined up here and this one back here. These are the marks I'm talking about, and I tried to show you underneath the flywheel. You make sure that this here, it's highlighted in white, it's aligned with this. You can see there's a little bit off. These are bang on, it doesn't take much. Anyways, as long as you're pretty well close there. Pull it apart. Now we have this off to the side as well. We're gonna grab our belt, and you're gonna need a 10 millimeter hex key. I'm preferably gonna put one on a ratchet. Don't wrench on this. I'll show you how to do it. It's a hydraulic tensioner, not a spring tensioner, so it won't, your tensioner's not broken if it doesn't shoot back. We're gonna twist it, and then we're gonna shove an Allen key in here, or a screwdriver, whatever, and it'll hold our tension off. We're ready to relieve tension. I'm just gradually putting pressure on this, guys. It's slowly loosening. I just shove a screwdriver in there, whatever you got. Now we can slip our belt up. And pull it off. You can see the writing goes up. Here's our new belt. That's our part number. Be sure you don't crease these belts, guys. They don't want you to do that. There is no marks on these belts. So make sure it's tight here roughly. Slide it down. Make sure your mark's lined up here and on both these, which they are. Yamaha specs, I think 1 millimeter down from the top or bottom. I can't remember. Anyways, your belt will find its way. Just make sure it's centered on there and tight. Now we take our 10 mil again. Just slack this a little bit. Like I say, you just slowly put it on. It's slowly moving. There we go. Now let off. So it'll slowly come in and tension that. Good time to check it. The bearing felt tight there, so I'm not worried about it. Anyways, we are done there. We're ready for reassembly. On reassembly, make sure you have a dowel in here and right there. Set our plate back on there. Make sure none of your wiring's pinched. Again, both bolts, they're all the same size. Make sure you get your wiring connectors on, and this one over here for your hose. Clamp right there. There is lock washers on these bolts, so you don't have to worry about Loctite. You can put it on if you want. There's a torque spec for these bolts. I don't know what they are. I always go just hand tight. I think it's only a few foot-pounds on them, honestly. Those are tight. Now we can wing our stator back on. Good time to check it. See if there's any cracks in it or melting looking. Everything looks fine on this one. These have lock washers as well, so you don't have to worry about putting Loctite on them either. All that tightened on, we're ready for a flywheel. Make sure your flywheel key is in the right position there. You can wash it as you put this down. Put our washer on. Now our nut. We tighten this to 270 Newton meters. I'll show you how I do it. There is a special holding tool for these. I'll bring you around, show you mine. I shoot up the Bendix, shove a rag in it, make sure there's a big clump over here. Then your starter will be engaged and that will act as a lock there, and then you can torque this to 270 millimeters, which we'll do right now. Good torque. Now, this rig will come out, give it a couple shakes. There, your Bendix will go down. Now, for any of you guys that aren't sure about yourselves, you want to be sure. I mean, this is torqued at 270 Newton meters. You ain't gonna hurt this. If you have your spark plugs out, it's a lot easier, which I don't. I'm doing that next, but I don't want to hop out of this boat. Bring your marks around and see if they line up, which right there I can visually see I'm lined up there and right here. So we're done. Throw your cover back on, your towel, and start her up and test her out. And I'll suggest, guys, take this thing and cut it in half and throw it in the garbage, because you don't want somebody reusing this. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I hope this video was detailed and thorough enough for you. It's a really simple job. Can be very time consuming to do if you're dealing with saltwater issues and stuff, but as you can see, it's a very straightforward deal. Just take your time with that tensioner, constant pressure, very slowly. I've actually had some where I've been pushing on them and the aluminum case on the outside actually breaks. I'm just putting constant pressure on, but the aluminum's only about a 1/16 of an inch thick, but there's actually metal underneath. It's just the body of it, so you're not hurting it if it does crack. But I've had it where I'm just putting light pressure and I've had a little crack start, but don't be scared, because that's just the outside body of the tensioner. It's just a spot to push on it, so just in case. I've had that happen, I think in one of my previous videos somebody called on it. Anyways, I hope it helped, and if you like marine videos, I'm going to try and upload a bunch this year. I was always limited to internet access, and now in my area we're getting internet access, so I'm able to upload more regularly now. So anyways, again, if you like marine stuff and like how-to stuff, check out my other videos, and please give the channel a like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.